Good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. It's 38 degrees. Whew. Hey, gonna talk about Syria today a little bit and the wall. How about that? Politics. And somehow I'll wrap it all back into preparedness and you. Trump announced yesterday, I think, we've defeated ISIS. The war is over. I'm bringing our troops home. And oh, it's like turning the spotlight on the cockroaches. Look who's screaming. Pay attention to who's screaming. Rubio, Graham, probably every Democrat. What's going on there? You will remember I said in one of my wildly popular YouTube videos what I was going to do if Hillary won the election. I believe Hillary, in conjunction with the deep state, wanted a war with Russia. And I believe if she had won, we'd already be fighting Russia. Trump comes on board, making all nice with Russia, which I would have done. And I think that's what's behind the whole Russiagate thing, which is a bunch of bunk, right? I mean, there's nothing there. Now they're going on to other things. The latest thing I saw they were looking at was the inauguration. How did we get from Russians to the inauguration? They just want anything to stop Trump, the duly elected president of the United States. And so it looked like, okay, war's not going to happen. Well, then Syria happens. And Syria started under Obama, but it starts, I think the deep state said, hey, we'll just pivot here and we'll put Trump in the hurt locker with Russia by one, investigating the Russiagate or whatever they were calling it, and two, amping up in Syria, which is a direct confrontation with Russia. We may get a war with Russia. Yeah, yay, big dollars for everyone. Do you remember who created ISIS? Who found a bunch of disaffected Muslims and said, hey, y'all want to overthrow Assad? The CIA. As my wife pointed out this morning, who helped professionalize the Mujahideen? The CIA. And so we basically created ISIS. And then we say we're fighting ISIS. They're like the big boogeyman, right? The guys in all black cutting off people in orange jumpsuits' heads all over the world. And yet we were supporting ISIS and helping them and protecting them from the Russians and the Syrians who were trying to bomb them into oblivion. It's a convoluted world in which we live. Throw the Kurds into the mix. The Kurds want a homeland. Right? They've wanted one for a long time. Northern Iraq, Western Iran, big chunk of Syria, huge chunk of Turkey. That's why Turkey don't like the Kurds. We sold the Kurds out once before Gulf War I. We're fixing to sell them out again, but I think they're smarter this time because we're pulling out. We're leaving them holding the bag again. But Russia had just recently, and I'm not seeing this in the current reporting, Russia had just recently said something vis-a-vis Syria. And they said, hey, we're not playing around anymore. If you go to attack Syrian bases or Syrian this, that, or the other thing, we're going to defend them. And if you hit us, we're going to hit you wherever you strike from. So if you bomb us, Israel, we're coming into Israel to bomb you. How do you like that? They just said that about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And now here's Trump saying, all right, we're out. 30 days. Probably take a little bit longer than that, but you can pull everybody out pretty quick. What's going to happen? Well, why did he do that? Couple reasons, I think. Number one, it ain't going his way on the wall, right? He wants the wall. And Congress, is doing what Congress does. And the Republicans are no freaking help, or we would have had it already. They're part of the problem. They're part of the deep state. And they just want to make Trump look bad so he goes away. So the wall ain't happening. And so I think Trump is playing asymmetrical chess, three-dimensional chess. It's like we're over here fighting on the wall. Oh, check out what I can do here. Whoop! I'm going to remove the impetus for a war with Russia just like that because I'm the commander-in-chief. And, oh, Congress, you did not declare war. Congress hasn't declared war since World War II, which is their right to do, but they haven't done it. And so because they haven't declared war, he can pull troops out anytime he wants. Everybody can scream all they want. He's the commander-in-chief. He's the boss. He's like the 8-star general. Everybody come out of Syria now. Oops. Where's our friction point with the Russians now? I think he did that, and there's talks going on over the wall. I would not be horribly surprised if troops didn't stay and something happened with the wall, meaning funding of some kind or another. Watch that. Keep an eye on that. But there's that. I think it could be a negotiating tactic with the deep state. We'll see. Putin is remaining circumspect. He said, yeah, they've been coming out of Afghanistan for 17 years. We'll see. Putin also said something the other day about how nuclear war is not off the table. It's still a danger in today's society. So he's amping up his rhetoric too. So Syria, we're coming out. We're going to quit supporting the terrorist ISIS that we created. People are worried, oh, you're going to leave a huge power vacuum for Europe and Iran's going to have their way. How many people do we have in Syria? About 2,000. If Europe can't surge to replace 2,000 people, they're not a worthy ally anyway. I mean, heck, we could probably get 2,000 Ozarkian National Guardsmen in a week to go do something. Come on. Granted, they're not special forces guys. And it's not the aircraft that comes with them, right? I know. But still, my point remains. I think it's good that we're pulling out. I don't think we should have been there in the first place. What are we doing trying to overthrow Assad? He was duly elected by his people, the Syrians. Yeah, he doesn't like Israel. He's an ally of Iran. I think our plan was to quickly remove Syria from the equation so Iran didn't have an ally there so that we can go beat up Iran, which we want to do, and I'm not opposed to, quite frankly. But, yeah. It's not worth fighting the Russians over. I don't think. So there's that. Where's it going to go? I don't know. It'll be an interesting, this topic, the wall, the funding, right? Here's the thing. Trump is at risk of having his read my lips, no new taxes moment. For those of you old enough to remember Bush the Elder, who just died. Read my lips, no new taxes. And then he put in new taxes. And what didn't run for re-election because he won a one. Trump's kind of batting zero on his promises. I'm a Trump supporter. But the wall ain't happening. Maybe I read too much news. The economy is better. Jobs are better. People have jobs. But a big thing was Hillary's not in jail, not even indicted. He said he was putting her behind bars. I do believe that was rhetoric. He's fighting a big battle. Everybody is aligned against him. But you know me and emotions, right? Dude, you deliver as my president, or I ain't voting for you again. Let's see some action. You said you were going to do some things. Feel the power, baby. You never know the limits of your authority until you exceed it. I'm getting disgusted with these federal judges who basically legislate from the bench. Been doing it forever. I'm just disgusted with it. Saying asylum people, seekers that we kicked out have to come back. Some judge, some fruity-tooty judge. I tell you what, there's bad times coming. This country could go into a revolution, civil war type thing. The sides just aren't talking anymore. They're not playing. People are getting strident on both sides. What's that phrase about when you do not have access to the soapbox or the ballot box? The only one left is the bullet box. That could be coming. That could be coming. That would be in our enemies, whether we want them to be or not, Russia and China and Iran, in their best interest to see us fragmenting. You know where all the problems are going to be, right? Where the people are. Where all the people are. Who am I going to argue with out here about politics? The deer? There's nobody to argue with. People, come out of her, my people. Bad times are coming. All the smart adversaries know you don't let the United States build up. If you're going to fight them, you hit them hard, fast, and repeatedly. We used to talk about knife fighting. I'm going to cut you 3 ways, long, deep, and often. We live in troubled times, Vikings. But you need not participate in the madness. Come out of her, my people. Keep your nose to the wind, but that just informs you. You should be informed already that things ain't right, that things are gonna get worse, and that you need to be prepared. Don't focus on the doomer porn. Focus on what you need to do to get more ready than you are. You know what I'm doing today? I'm gonna go work on Charlie 6. All right, I'll see you out there.